apologies to the extended absence to all my subscribers. I've been gone for the past week. Fortunately, I've only missed one piece of news, and that was Trevor Lawrence finally signing a deal with the Jacksonville Jaguars. This was a big topic heading into this offseason and ultimately heading into training camp in this year. But they finally pulled the trigger, got their, as of right now, starting quarterback paid. Is he a franchise guy? Is he a cornerstone guy? You guys gotta let me know. I really don't think so, and I've been a big fan of Trevor Lawrence, but so far in his NFL career, he just hasn't lived up to the hype of being number one overall and just being that dude. He had one good year when they reached the playoffs, but every other year has just been mediocre at best. I think this year is a huge year for the Jags. I really think it's a make or break year. I guess not so much anymore since he got paid, but I still think it's a make or break year for the Jaguars, because if Trevor Lawrence doesn't look great again, or he looks mediocre, or he just doesn't look like a top 10, top 15 QB in this league, then what are they doing, honestly? Doug Peterson too. Man, I was so high on the Jags a year ago, man. Especially almost beating the Chiefs in the playoffs. You got Doug Peterson, legendary coach, Philly. And they just really dropped the ball last year. They started off pretty good, but they just fell apart, and it was pretty disappointing. Let me know if you guys think the Jags are going to be competitive this year. Do you think they're going to be a playoff team? Do you think they're just going to fall flat on their face again? It's a pretty competitive division, honestly. You obviously have the Texans. The Titans are cooking something. Dark horse team right there. And the Colts are a huge question mark. Colts were one play away from making the playoffs with Gardner Minshew. Imagine if they have Anthony Richardson for 8 games this year, or who knows, maybe a full season. That would be a deadly team. So I'm not really optimistic about the Jaguars heading into this year, but hey, let me know what y'all think about that. So he signed a 5-year deal, reportedly worth $275 million, $55 million in average annual salary, and that ties with Joe Burrow as the highest paid NFL player in history. I mean, we can take the eye test, we can go to the stats, the numbers, whatever the hell you want to do, but does Trevor Lawrence look like a guy that should be paid as the highest paid player in NFL history? Does anybody think that's a good idea? I really think this was a massive mistake. The Jags obviously had holes on their roster. That's why they fell apart last year. Their team wasn't that good. They just didn't play that good. And to hand Trevor Lawrence a massive contract like this, you're going to lose guys eventually. I just don't think this is the move at all. Jags fans, am I wrong? Am I crazy? Let me know what y'all think, but I just really don't like this. If I was the GM of the Jags, I definitely would have waited to see how this year played out, and then I would have made my decision at the end of the year, but I don't know, man. Trevor Lawrence, I like the guy, but he just hasn't lived up to the hype at all. I don't even think that's subjective. That's objective. He just hasn't been that guy yet. Who knows? He could break out this year. It's possible, but does anybody see that really happening? It's also reported that $200 million is guaranteed in the contract, so that is a ton of money for Trevor Lawrence. Is he even a top 15 quarterback right now? And if he is in the top 15, he's in that 10 to 15 range. He's not a top 10 quarterback. Come on. And he's getting paid that much. And he's not even a top 5, top 10 quarterback. That's just crazy. That's crazy to me. I know the Jaguars as a franchise hasn't really had the most success since they were founded in the late 90s. I know their first couple of years they made the AFC Championship. They were competitive, but there was a long drought there up until like 2017 where just not a whole lot of action, not a whole lot of wins, not a whole lot of success. And I know they drafted their guy, Trevor Lawrence, #1 overall a few years back, and they're desperate to hang on, but I just think this is a mistake. I don't know what else to call it. I just think it's a blatant, terrible mistake. And who knows? I could eat my words. Trevor Lawrence might be a top 10 QB for this upcoming year, but I mean, the sample size that we've gotten so far, does he really deserve to be the highest paid NFL quarterback in history? Absolute crazy. Absolute craziness. And for some people who are defending this contract and this move from the Jags, a lot of people are saying, oh, it's because Trevor Lawrence was injured a year ago. He was playing through a lot of injuries. Okay, fair play. That's why this year is so huge. Like, it's a brand new year, fresh new year. He's not injured. No Urban Meyer. He's got Doug Peterson again for another year. He's got that continuity going on, so let's see it. But I mean, I hope he proves me wrong. That's just an insane contract for like a top 15 quarterback. And again, he's in that 10 to 15 range. If anyone wants to argue with me on that, let me know in the comments. Give me your top 10 QBs, because he's definitely not there for me. So I just think this is a massive, massive mistake. Let me know what y'all think. And let me know who y'all think is going to win the AFC South this year. Texans, Colts, Jags, maybe the Titans, who knows? But I don't know. I really, really don't like this move. And one can make the same argument for Joe Burrow, but at least Joe Burrow has made it to a Super Bowl. Joe Burrow has better numbers. Joe Burrow so far has looked a lot more consistent and elite compared to Trevor Lawrence. Funny enough, both guys have had their fair share of injuries, so there is a common denominator there, but that's the only one. Comparing Joe Burrow to Trevor Lawrence is pretty crazy to me. I think every single GM in the NFL would take Joe Burrow in a blink of an eye, and I think every NFL fan would rather have Joe Burrow than Trevor Lawrence as their quarterback. So the fact that they're getting paid the same amount of money is just craziness, just a madhouse, a circus. So let me know what y'all think. Am I crazy? Do you love this contract? Let me know in the comments. That's all I got for right now. Peace.
And incomplete. What a hit that time.